Lineup for the New York Mets with Bo Bichette leading things off. And now at shortstop after the injury last night to Ronnie Mauricio, who fractured his thumb diving into first base. Juan Soto is DHing today, and then, well, a bunch of other guys that they need to get going behind Soto and Bichette. It has been a journey for the Mets to start the year. 11-22 for the team with the second highest payroll in all of baseball.
Yeah, just trying to be consistent with their offense, and that's been an issue for them, especially when they score 3 runs or less. They had a tough time winning ball games. Hopefully they won't be scoring those 3 runs today against Kohanowitz. And the defense behind Kohanowitz, you always got to be ready on that defensive side, especially in the infield. Starting in the outfield, though, you got Josh Lowe out in left field, Mike Trout in center field, Jorge Soler getting a shot in right field today. Peraza, Neto, Grissom, Sean Noel, Rivero behind the plate, but Zach Neto always knows he's going to be busy with Kohanowitz there. 3 defensive runs saved. His shortstop position, he's turned 15 double plays. Just got to get him going both at the plate and in the field to get him back to being confident again.
And don't worry, Grogu's here in the booth with us today.
Feeling good.
Let him slip.
No. He's got work to do.
He definitely does. Angels snapped their 7-game losing streak last night. And see if they can string together back-to-back wins here today against New York, as we are underway with a first pitch strike from Jack Kohanowitz.
He's been really doing a nice job of getting ahead of counts this year for the most part.
Bo Bichette had an RBI single in the game yesterday, but came up short in some bigger moments toward the end. He's behind in the count 0-2, but well, for now he's going to play some shortstop again. The Mets intended to make him the third baseman for this team next to Lindor, but Lindor's out now. Mauricio is too. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bichette, who is not known as a great defender at shortstop. But he's going to have to, at least for now, be at that position again, and we'll see how that works out for New York. There's a little tapper from Bichette. Shonowell waits for it, and Kohanowitz has his first ground ball out.
And soft contact on the ground. He's been a lot better with that also. Well, last year when you think about a sinker ball pitcher, when you throw a lot of them and everything's down in his zone, you're going to get harder contact with, because he's been able to elevate with the 4-seamer upstairs and use that changeup. A lot more soft contact.
Brings up Juan Soto, who has been on base in each of his first 18 games so far this year. That's the longest streak in his major league career to begin a season. Walks a lot. He's walked more than anyone in history at his age, and I can't imagine why he wouldn't walk even more this year. He's walked at least 125 times in each of the last 5 seasons, and you look at this lineup for the Mets behind him, and how's he not going to walk at least that many more times again this year?
That's why it's not surprising he swung at the first pitch right away, because he figured that might be his best pitch in the strike zone area. Yeah. So as far as he's in a changeup and a slider.
I wonder if that makes him more aggressive when you consider that there's little to no protection for him. In the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. His last 5 season walk totals are 145, 135, 132, 129, and 127. And last year, the first time that he struck out more than he walked since 2019, when he was just 20 years old.
And so you get that 0-2 pitch, almost the exact same pitch that Bachman got him to chase underneath the hands, down and in. Didn't get that swing from Kohanowitz, though. Got that one right there.
Strike 3 called, and Soto backpedals all the way back to the dugout.
Throws him out there. Changeup, slider, changeup. 97, 98 mile an hour 4-seam fastball. Freezes him. And that one stayed true out of his hand. And his sinker will dive. 4-seamer, true. Froze Soto in more ways than one.
2 up, 2 down. First strikeout, and here's another ground ball off the bat of MJ Melendez. Nice and smooth in the first inning for Jack Kohanowitz. leading off. Mike Trout hits second. Shawnuel bats third. Then it's Soler in the cleanup spot. Joe Adell is the DH today. Josh Lowe in left field. Grissom, Peraza in those 7 and 8 spots again. Sebastian Rivero does the catching, with Clay Holmes, the veteran, on the mound for the Mets.
Yeah, fastball, not overpowering. He'll sink it just like Kohanowitz, 91-95, pretty much. Throw to sinker or throw a cut fastball, curveball, changeup. Also mix in a sweeper. He's around the strike zone quite a bit, and he works down in his zone. A lot of ground balls. He's at a 58, just under a 59% ground ball rate this year.
It's a bad day for the Worms.
Yes. There's a lot of birds aren't going to be real happy about that flying around after the game.
Up and into Zach Neto. 1 ball, no strikes. There's been some thought about Neto maybe just getting a day off, a chance to reset. That average has been dropping. He has, over the last couple of weeks, been struggling. Strikeouts have piled up as well. And he's played every single day as he comes up empty here.
And he's right on top of the plate, still trying to get that timing together. And I saw him out working earlier today. He just needs a good at bat or so here to get going again.
They've been few and far between for Neto of late. There's one over his head.
So up and in fastball. That was a sweeper that time. That slipped out of his hand. Low as a hitter, it doesn't matter if it's a breaking ball or fastball. You're never comfortable when it's over your helmet. And really, when you try to get out of the way of that too, you put a lot of force on your ankles, your knees, just to get out of the way of that one.
2 balls and 1 strike to count on Neto. Swings through that. 2-2. Let's go down to Erica.
A lot of conversation about maybe he gets a day off, maybe not. Zach wants to be out there every day, but the big thing, Kurt Suzuki says he wants him to learn how to get through this slump, and that means being in there every single day so he can take the next steps forward. He thinks he's a superstar.
I mean, he can win games with his glove, with his legs. Sometimes, even if you're not swinging as well as you want to, there's ways you can impact the game, and he could do that.
Well, he's still young. He's still a young player. I mean, it's his 4th year in the league. And you expect guys at this point to start taking those steps and learning how to work their way out of slumps. So probably the right call from the Angels here as Neto lifts one towards shallow right. Vientos charges after it in foul ground and won't get there. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Neto.
Staying in on him too. And usually when you think of Neto, fastball's in. That's where he's able to get that barrel at and do a lot of damage. So far a little bit late on it.
He's a cornerstone for this team at this point. He has proven himself to be a very good major league player. He has blossomed into one of the better shortstops in all of baseball. So certainly the Angels are not going to have a babying approach at this point with Zach Neto. And he's going to have to find his way out himself, no question. 2-2 as he smacks one foul.
And that was much quicker on that sinker inside. Good to see that one. Now on a swing like that, you got to imagine if you're Holmes, you're going to try something different. You might see that slider or even a cutter.
Long at bat to start the game. This will be the 8th pitch to Neto from Holmes, which is not something you normally see. Holmes only averages about 14.7 pitches per inning. He's usually quick through these innings. So they're long at bat against him here. Three and two.
And it's a good at bat. Now everyone in that dugout, Mike Trout and the on-deck circles, has seen pretty much all his pitches. This is a really good, productive at bat for Neto. And it's been a struggle, like you said, Wayne, but this is one of those type of at bats where he gets more comfortable, and everyone in that dugout and the on-deck circle, same thing.
This will be pitch number 10 from Holmes. And Neto swats another one away.
And as a pitcher, you're extremely frustrated the first batter of the game, and you're throwing all these pitches. Not that you don't know, the scouting reports and all the data and all the analytic things you have about a pitcher. You know what he throws, but still to see all those is good.
Now, Holmes isn't going to strike a lot of hitters out anyway, and after 11 pitches, Zach Neto draws a leadoff walk.
My go-tos to be successful against Holmes today. I mean, he's got the pitches to be effective, but hopefully won't be the case here today. Is power that middle zone fastball. so far. A couple home runs on that one, but keep the sweeper in the strike zone. 8 punch-outs and a 41% whiff percentage with a sweeper. Got a lot of those out of the zone chases.
He was a reliever with the Yankees. His ground ball rates were extreme. 77%, his best year with the Yankees in 2022. Holmes was really a late bloomer.
That's a big lead for Neto, by the way.
It's a huge lead held on by Vientos. Mike Trout rolls one foul.
And you figure it's good to have a good idea to have motion with a guy that's going to get a lot of ground balls, so you have the infielders moving around and not in a comfortable position. So pretty much when contact's made, it's going to be on the ground. If there's someone moving to cover a base, then all of a sudden there's an empty space to get through.
Two balls and a strike on Trout. Holmes was drafted in 2011. Didn't get to the big leagues until 2018 and really didn't have a breakout year until 2022. He's been a pretty consistent starter for the Mets after transitioning from the bullpen. As Trout takes ball 3. Trout had 2 more times on base yesterday. He's been on base in 21 in a row. It's a roller foul past third again. 3-2 back-to-back full counts. And as we mentioned for Holmes, he's already past his usual pitches per inning, and he hasn't even faced 2 hitters yet.
Yeah, I think Neto's going to be on the move with the trust of Trout. Will know the strike zone. He'll make contact if it's in the zone. Let it go if it's out.
Neto's had a big lead throughout this at bat at first.
Torrens has a great throwing arm behind the plate.
Neto runs and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks.
The defense behind Holmes, generally, like we talk about, throws a lot of strikes, a lot of ground balls with 2 walks already. Melendez, Taylor, Benj, and the outfield. Beatty, Bichette, Simeon, Vientos, Torrens. I've mentioned his throwing arm behind the plate, but it's Bichette at shortstop. He's already had 719 career games at shortstop position. He's involved in turning 314 double plays, so he's comfortable back at shortstop.
Table set for Nolan Schanuel. He goes fishing on that sinker. No balls and 1 strike.
So it looks like he'll throw that sinker a lot in on righties and away against lefties. So if you try to pull that, it won't be in that good spot for Schanuel. So he's got to try to hit that ball to left center field if it's staying away with a sinker.
He's added a curveball to go to lefties this year as well. Schanuel just dumps that one foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Clay Holmes walking the first 2 batters in this first inning. As the Angels look to punch through early against Holmes. Schanuel himself trying to find some consistency offensively. Seen it a little more lately, but he goes down on 3 pitches against Holmes.
A lot of those again weighing down in the strike zone. He's had a tougher time with that. Hyundai key for the game today going to Beatles. Day tripper. Some round trippers with that day game carrier today. Right guy up the plate to see if he can make sure that gets going as far as the round trippers.
So here is Jorge Soler, who has been on base in 23 consecutive games. One of the longest streaks he's had in his career, actually 22 right now, would make it 23 today. It's the 4th longest active streak in the majors. Nick Kurtz of the A's has the longest streak. He had a walk in 20 straight games, which was up there with one of the longest walk streaks in baseball history. Big bending curveball lands for a strike. Holmes does not throw that a lot to righties usually.
He has not given up a hit versus his curveball this season.
2 long at bats resulting in walks to start the inning, and then a strikeout of Schanuel.
And both pitchers on that first base side of the pitching rubber, sinker ball pitchers.
Extreme sinker ballers, and They both get a lot of ground ball outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Soler.
Holmes keeping an eye on Neto. Neto loves to try to steal third base. And Trout, the trail runner, waiting, see where he's at. See where he's at that first base side of the pitching rubber, a lot like Kohanowitz. The reason why I do that is to be able to get in on lefties more so. You're going to see a lot of lefties generally when you're a sinker ball pitcher if you're right-handed.
The splits have been fine. It really has not been much difference for him. Lefty against righty. Jack Kohanowitz waiting patiently, hoping for his offense to get some runs here in the first inning against Holmes. He's about to throw his 25th pitch already. And Soler, it's a ground ball, base hit to left center. Neto heads for the plate. The Angels score a run early. Jorge Soler on base again. And his 26th RBI makes it 1-0.
Been so productive. Even on breaking balls, he's not pulling off his zone. Right back up the middle. Another solid swinging approach at the plate by Soler. Not a bad pitch. Outer half and down. Still gets it back up the middle. Hits it hard enough, about 100 miles per hour off the bat. Picks up another RBI. After all those long at bats, some production, scoring a run at least now.
25 pitches in. Clay Holmes still not any closer to getting out of this first inning. Although when you're a ground ball pitcher, you sometimes are just 1 pitch away. And Justin Willard, the Mets pitching coach, goes to the mound. As Joe Adell will stand in as the DH today. It was kind of a quietly under the radar good day for Adell yesterday. Had 3 hits, a run scored, and a run batted in. He saw 25 pitches in his 5 plate appearances yesterday.
He looked real good. We talked about how well he looked in early batting practice, regular batting practice, hitting a lot of shots.
And we saw a very productive approach overall from the Angels yesterday against a pitcher in McLean who has a lot of spin, tries to get a lot of chases. The Angels really didn't bite, didn't really pull off the ball at all yesterday.
Yeah, the middle of the field, the other way approach was really outstanding.
There's a bouncer to third handled by Beatty, who steps on third and gets it across the diamond. So Holmes is able to get out of it with the double play, but the Angels do score a run to make it 1-0.
Good things come to those who
But don't be scared. You're still in preterm.
And Sam Bachman, 3 2/3 scoreless innings to allow the Angels to come back and walk that one off last night. Reed Detmers, last night's starter, has a unique perspective on all of it after spending last season in the Angels bullpen. He told us after the game he feels it. He feels what they're going through. It's all about trusting your routine, trusting the process, and knowing that at the end of the day, all of your stuff, it's going to come through. But just to be sure, Brent Suter yesterday took a trip to Walmart, get some sage, Palo Santo stick in the clubhouse, just to be safe, guys.
Oh, that's always a good decision to do.
Well, did you participate in any seances down there?
I wasn't invited, just like I wasn't invited to the Ducks game.
Brett Beatty flips one to left. Well, you're not taking it personally, at least,
Not
which is
at
good.
all.
Beatty has a leadoff single here in the second.
Not hard contact, but just found that hole with the defense the way it was set up. Going to get some of those hits, especially for a guy that's going to get a lot of baseballs hit on the ground. He had 2 ground ball outs in the first inning.
I think Erica, though, has established herself enough to just be where she wants to be.
Yes.
You don't need an invitation.
That kind of control.
Marcus Simeon bats with Beatty at first. There's a fly ball to left center, shallow. Trout is coming in for a long run in, and he makes the catch. 1 out. Erica, wouldn't you agree that I think you've set yourself up to just show up where you want?
Based on how Baby Yoda, how Grogu played out last night, I think I can agree with you on that one.
Just pop in.
I don't think anybody would be upset. They might be a little annoyed.
Grogu is
Her
legendary.
again? She's here again?
One away as Carson Benj stands in. Let's see if the Angels relievers can rub off on each other after that good performance yesterday. As Benj bunts foul, we saw Bachman go an inning and 2/3. Zeffridge on 2 innings. He might have gone back out for a 3rd inning. Kurt Suzuki said before the game today, maybe half jokingly, well, he could have gone 5 if we needed him.
And both of them I talked to today, they've said they're ready to go today, which is a good sign.
They didn't throw that many pitches, either one of them. It's also worth noting that both Kirby Yates and Ben Joyce got into rehab games yesterday. They're going to go easy with Joyce, it sounds like, just based on his own comfort as well. He wants to make sure he's ready to go. Doesn't want to have any relapses or setbacks into the shoulder problems that caused him to miss most of last year. You can understand that with Joyce, but they need those guys too, both of them.
Both of them. And 101-mile-an-hour fastball from Joyce yesterday. Yates' splitter was really good. You might see them real soon, I think. Maybe even the White Sox series, if not the Toronto series.
Ball 3 to Benj. Angels will have the White Sox come in. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball.
Yes, they are. They are swinging the bats well. Murakami's just crushing the baseball.
They've won 5 in a row. They're in San Diego today, and they'll have a couple of the guys we saw last week on the mound this week. Plus Noah Schultz, the 6'10" rookie. So the Angels were yesterday with Yates and Joyce, and Alek Manoah got out there too. With a hole in the rotation right now, that starts to play up into Manoah's process as Yusei Kikuchi's on the injured list.
At the very least, be a long guy down in your bullpen with a lot of experience and a lot of guys like him around there.
Ball 4 to Benj as Kolanowitz issues a 1-out walk.
Benj had a pretty good at bat there. Didn't go after that one. That was a close pitch, a little bit off the strike zone though.
Brings up Mark Vientos.
Pretty good speed on the bases here for the Mets, and a team that's struggling offensively. They might take a shot at having some movement here.
Not as much speed at the plate with Vientos. Mets have hit into their fair share of double plays so far this year. They've hit into 26. Kolanowitz is looking for one here.
He's got 3 double plays turned behind him. 61.5% ground ball rate.
There's a strike at the bottom of the zone to Vientos. 1 ball, 1 strike. Vientos had what seemed like a breakout year in 2024. He has not been able to come close to that since then. The Mets have banked a lot on their young group of prospects that were seemingly ready 2, 3, 4 years ago to take those next steps, and really none of them have. Off the plate from Kolanowitz, 2 balls and a strike.
Early on, hasn't quite had his feel for a slider. It's been really an effective pitch this season. 0.77 batting average against him with a Over 40% whiff percentage with his slider so far, just underneath the baseball, and it's kind of getting around him.
It's a dramatic shift from where he was with that pitch last year. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Vientos. See, last season compared to this year, I mean, it's one of the most remarkable year-to-year improvements that you can imagine.
It is unreal, and he was kind of caught in between a slider and a sweeper. Now throwing exclusively a slider.
It's 2-2 on Vientos.
Again, he overthrew that one.
Full count.
And it's real important, especially with some of the right-handers in this lineup, that you establish you can throw it for a strike, because then you get chases, but you haven't been close enough to the strike zone to get a chase on it.
See if Kohanowitz can fight back here. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Gas again. Both his strikeouts with his fastball. One looking, one swinging. That was way by him on that swing. And the Mets have had a tough time with fastballs, surprisingly, this season.
A very tough time. Not even on necessarily high velocity fastballs either. Here is Tyrone Taylor getting another start in center field.
We often talk about hitters as trying to get into fastball counts against fastballs ahead, but they've been struggling with it.
Mets are without some guys they thought they were going to be counting on. Of course, Lindor, the head of that list, and Luis Robert as well. Coming from the White Sox, he's had injury problems throughout his career. Extremely talented player. And Robert went on the IL just before this series started. Jorge Polanco, the veteran's been out.
A lot different lineup when you have Lindor, Robert, and Polanco in there, though, for sure.
2-0 on Taylor. He lifts one to left center field. Should be caught by someone out there. It's Mike Trout who has it. Kohanowitz works around a couple of base runners in the second. Join us on Friday, May 22nd, when the Rangers are in town. You'll get this new camo trucker hat courtesy of Angels Radio, AM 830. Angels.com/promotions to add this beauty to your hat collection. Look at that.
It's looking fantastic.
Hey,
Grogu's looking fantastic with it on, too. I think Grogu's got me beat. Grogu got Gooby beat.
I mean, it really looks spectacular on Grogu.
Oh, yes, it does. And I appreciate the compliment to me, too, Wayne. I really appreciate that. It's a solid looking hat. I can't wait.
Good on you.
I can't wait to wear it on the road.
Here's
Get some good looks from fans there.
Grounder to second base as Simeon throws out low, one away. Well, we got all. I'm not wearing the bomber jacket.
Yes.
We got Grogu in the camo hat. You got that on.
Yes, it looks good.
Ready
It's
to
a
go
solid.
fishing
Yeah.
or something.
I know. I
It's
think I am.
You're quite a fisherman.
Oh, yeah. I'm the fisher of men for sure. I'm really good at that. I could do a good job.
I don't doubt that.
Yes. Saula.
What else we got here today? We're gonna give him a. I'm just gonna give him a plug, even
Yes.
though they asked us, or they didn't ask us, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yes.
The Rise Espresso Bar, which is here at Angel Stadium
It's
downstairs.
so good.
I got the cocoa puff latte, and you got.
I got the vanilla latte. Yes.
Cocoa
Cheers.
Cold brew. Cheers. Oh,
Cheers.
thank you very much.
Yes, you do.
Post birthday. Erica has something to tell us.
I have coffee too. That wasn't what I was going to
Oh.
say. I have my coffee down here too. But Gooby, you look like a country music star.
Oh, yeah.
Are you headlining Stagecoach?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm Luke Bryan right here
You
now.
fit right in, man. It fits you
yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah. That's all they need. I'll be out there. I'll
Just
be
need that guitar.
Yeah.
that would
Stagecoach
be
going
beautiful.
right now. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
That could be your song.
Yeah. I'm on my way. Oh, man.
Well, Vaughn Grissom has looked like he's on his way. Batting .318 to start the year. He has 7 runs batted in now, including 2 yesterday. Grissom and Peraza back in the lineup today against a right-handed pitcher in Clay Holmes.
He's been real good using the other side of the field, too, especially on breaking balls. He's not trying to pull, go back up the middle the other way.
It's important for Kurt Suzuki. He said to maintain some reward for these players who have stepped up and played well for this club, even as things have not been so great in the wins and loss column. Grissom and Peraza both getting more playing time. He also said he doesn't want to lose Adam Frazier and Yohan Moncada in that mix as well. He needs to find that balance. But, you know, Grissom and Peraza have performed. They're
With that
young
hot hand.
players.
You got to go with that hot hand, too.
And that's what Kurt Suzuki was leaning toward today.
That's a good at bat. I thought they might challenge that. Might have ran off the inside corner. 3 walks already for Holmes.
Bit uncharacteristic and with that pitch count climbing.
I think they would have been all right if they challenged, too, by the way. Yeah, Peraza coming to play. Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. That pitch by pitch last night against Lawrence. Fastball in. Back with another fastball. 0-2. Fouled off a tough one there. Fouled off another tough one on the plate, but then he gets a good slider going away, sweeper away, and he punched it into left center field for the walk-off hit. First of his career.
So they're just hoping to make some contact in that spot. He was absolutely beaming. His grin from ear to ear when he knocked that ball into left center field yesterday. There's a chopper up the middle here. It's grabbed a little hop off the ship. And the Mets still have time to turn that double play despite the ball not being hit very hard. 2 double plays for Holmes to get through both of the first 2 innings. trades in baseball history. Although Jim Fregosi certainly had an incredible Angels career, was one of the faces of the franchise in the first decade of the team. And as he kind of aged out of his position, the Angels were able to acquire a young fireballer named Nolan Ryan from the Mets, sending Fregosi to New York, where he didn't really do a whole lot for that franchise after his great years as an Angel. And Nolan Ryan took off to become a Hall of Famer and the all-time strikeout king.
Yeah, there was a lot of walk in his game back there with the Mets. He was pretty wild, but he figured out how to be more consistent. And wow, look at all those strikeouts and 7 no-hitters. That is still unreal.
4 of them as an Angel, and one in his mid-40s that he threw to wrap up number 7 as Luis Torrens leads off here in the 3rd inning. Nolan Ryan was a part of the 1969 Mets championship team. 2 balls and 1 strike on Torrens.
Right now, it's basically fastball changeup working for Kohanowitz. The slider not quite there yet.
It was a 1969 championship team that captured the hearts and minds of so many young Mets fans, as that franchise was really a lovable loser for the first 7 years of its existence. And then the miracle Mets pulled off this title out of nowhere. First time they even finished above 500 in franchise history. They made one young Howie Rose fall in love with the New York Mets, who went on to become the great radio broadcaster. He's retiring after this year. And so I threw in a little put it in the books last night when the Angels beat the Mets. And it wasn't to troll Howie, it was to honor Howie.
You had some good, Met fans real happy with that one.
Oh, they can cry about it if that's what they want. Torrens, it's a bouncer up the middle as Grissom.
Way to go, Wayne.
Torrens went away. They have other things to cry about right now. No question about that. But here is a young Nolan Ryan putting a bender on the Orioles there in the 1969 World Series.
And you know, that we look at that team there, Baltimore, they were favored in that World Series also, but here he is right against Sweet Lou. Not so sweet of a swing on that fastball. Big John Mayberry. Big John, one of the funniest guys in the history of the game.
383 strikeouts in 1 year, still the all-time single season record.
I think right there, Kohanowitz is anticipating somebody was playing right up the middle. That's why I always say that mound is your home. You got to look around where your guys are defending you. If he looked like he was in position to potentially field that ball, but he thought somebody was right behind him and let it go. Ends up being a base hit.
It's Bo Bichette on with 1 out. It brings Soto to the plate.
See, he just lets that one go, thinking there's going to be someone there. There wasn't anybody there. That's why you always look back where your infielders are at.
Ball 1 to Soto, struck out his first time. Soto has never done much against the Angels, just a 190 career average. You almost have to blink at that, considering the damage Soto has done to just about everybody else. He's a 950 career OPS. He takes ball 2.
Yeah, when I was reading those numbers, Wayne, I was still kind of shocked. So many kids here today. Love it.
And a ton of kids on the field before the game. Another big crowd here this afternoon.
Huge crowd for Sunday afternoon.
Crowds have been absolutely huge to start the season here at the Big A. Soto
He might be right on this one. It's going to be real close. It might have touched the corner.
It's a strike.
Pitch and strike. New York has 1 challenge left.
You talk about barely touching the corner. It's a lonely man there on the corner.
Bouncing ball to first. Shotwell will juggle it and only have to play at first. He actually had it out of his glove. It got stuck in the webbing of his glove, and he threw the glove at Kohanowitz for the out.
They were saying it was juggling too, but
well, they called him out. The Mets are doing the 6-7 there in the dugout. Kohanowitz. The question is, did he control the glove? The Mets will not challenge.
So that goes 3, glove 1.
Shotwell couldn't get the ball out in a panic. Flipped the entire glove to Kohanowitz.
That's a pretty smart decision, though, at that point.
Here, take it.
Yes. And he's able to control the baseball and the glove.
That was unbelievable.
Oh, every day you go to the ballpark, you might see something unique. Oh, there's all men without hats, men without gloves.
2 outs as Bichette takes second base on the play. Here's MJ Melendez, who grounded out his first time, and he takes ball 1. Well, it was another challenge the Mets didn't make yesterday that made a lot of headlines after we revealed it on the broadcast that the Mets would have had that run negated in the first inning. The Angels scored last night in a game that ended up being an extra inning game. It's a huge play that the Mets did not challenge in the first inning yesterday. And Carlos Mendoza said after the game basically that the replay guy just missed it.
Well, that's a good sign there. He was able to finally throw a slider for a strike. Oh, overthrew that one again, hit him in the foot. That slider. Still not a real good feel early on for his slider.
Since that play yesterday, the Mets did not review it. And Adell knocked Shonowell to the plate. Soler was thrown out at third base. And Soler's tag on the foot came on before Shonowell touched the plate, as you can see here. The Mets could have challenged this as a timing play. They chose not to. Carlos Mendoza said, well, the Harrison, their replay review guy, just didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it from here. We were thinking, oh, please don't review it. Even live, we didn't think that was going to be a good outcome for the Angels.
And of course, the Mets could have reviewed that even without their replay guy saying they should, but it's the guy you trust to make the call.
That's why
like that.
You always run as hard as you can through the plate there. Sometimes, even though you think you're going to score rather easily, you just got to go all the way through hard to that plate.
Shonowell's doing what he can with what he's got over there on the speed.
He is showing a wow.
The ball's at a strike on Beatty, who had a base hit his first time. So a second to keep Bichette close.
It's been an odd inning, really. It might have been if he was able to get that glove, a baseball out of his glove and throw to second. That could have ended up being a double play ball. At the very least, you had Bichette out and he has Soto at first base.
One ball, one strike.
Still trying to force that slider, but it's just not working for him today. Got to be ready on that left side of the infield now if you're Peraza. So now you basically have eliminated a breaking ball. So you're, as a hitter, you're looking fastball or changeup.
Two and two on Beatty.
So far, he's thrown 17 sliders, when only 4 of them he's thrown it for a strike. Still, it's a lot of sliders when you think he's thrown a total of 47 pitches.
Another fouled away. Beatty, former first-round pick. First third baseman drafted by the Mets in the first round since David Wright, who was actually here the other night.
He was.
He was here. He was eating hot dogs with Steve Gelbs.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Love to see him.
Swing and a miss. Beatty goes down on strikes.
Some cheese upstairs again. All 3 strikeouts with fastballs.
Well, Nolan Shonowell threw a whole brick of cheese at Jack Kohanowitz, tossed the glove and the ball. Kohanowitz held on for a big out on Soto.
Over a century ago,
Look at all the fans there, all the kids. Connor Kirby here at the ballpark going, Angels, let's go. Tell you what, that's one of my favorite days is Sundays when you have the Little League kids walking around, the smiles on their face, the softball players. It's a blast, an absolute blast.
I am amazed how many Little League teams wear City Connect uniforms now.
I know.
It's awesome. Those kids wearing the red City Connect. I mean, you see City Connect uniforms all over for some of these Little League teams, including the Angels City Connect. Sebastian Rivero fouls one off. I loved that when I was a kid, having the Major League team uniform for whatever team that you played with as a Little Leaguer. I was on the Angels in T-ball.
Were you really?
Uh-huh.
Way to go. I'm proud of you, Wayne. So is Rogu. Or Grogu.
Rogu.
Yeah.
No balls, 2 strikes on Rivero.
Wow, what an odd inning that was. Nice play, see? All that hard work. Working with their coaches.
Rivero cut down on strikes. Torrens gets it to first to retire Rivero. Second strikeout for Clay Holmes.
Seems to be settling in after that tough first inning where he threw so many pitches. Settled down since that point.
Clay Holmes was with the Pirates early in his career. He had a .557 ERA during his time in Pittsburgh. Since leaving the Pirates, his ERA is 2.94. It's a total drastic turnaround once he became a Yankee and now a Met.
Over 300 career appearances out of the bullpen. This is his 42nd career start.
And the Mets signed him to a 3-year deal, and they made him a starting pitcher coming off his years as a closer for the Yankees, or at least a late inning reliever there.
Well, he's got the pitches to be able to be a starter. He's got a number of them. Sometimes you're out of the bullpen that you only use 1 or 2 pitches, but he's got 4 or 5 of them.
He really started to lean into that larger repertoire when he made that move into the rotation last year, though he still relies on that sinker a lot. 1 ball, 1 strike on Neto. He bounces one foul, lunging at that breaking ball.
Zach Neto, he's going to stay right where he normally would be. He is on top of the plate. He's almost standing on top of the plate. He's challenging to try to get him out inside with that sinker. If he can just get that barrel out quick enough. And we showed a lot of his home runs throughout his career. He gets that baseball out in front of the plate, as well as anybody. So he's trying to get that sinker out in front before it runs down and in. Get it out front, do some damage.
And a walk and a run scored in the first inning. A long at bat put him on base. It's this one in the air. Shallow in left center. Taylor and Melendez are over. It's Melendez in left for out number 2.
Just a little bit late still, Zach is. You see the frustration even walking back to the dugout, but again, you can make a difference with your glove out in the field. That's the mindset you have to have until you get that swing together.
One of the tougher stretches we've seen for him really in his career. You hardly ever see Zach in a prolonged slump.
Sluts him off with a curveball pretty close to the strike zone. But Trout has hit fastballs really well, and you can just see it, Wayne, like you're saying. He's just not confident.
Trout rips one through the left side, a 2-out single.
Trout's confident on fastballs. I know that right now. Those hands were quick on that one. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. So to his numbers versus fastballs in the strike zone this season, how much that's jumped up. The slugging percentage and OPS and the whiff percentage down to 11%. So he's done a nice job of not going upstairs with that fastball, bringing that fastball down just like that one there. He got through the hole.
8-game hitting streak now for Trout. 2 more times on base today. Torrens a pretty good thrower behind the plate. This kind of screams stolen base try, doesn't it?
Yeah, you would think, but he's throwing out 57%. Granted, not a lot of attempts. 7 attempts. He's caught 4 stealers.
That ball is ripped toward right, but it hangs up and falls into the glove of Benj.
A real meal deserves a real dessert, like the DQ7.
One nothing Angels. Jack Kohanowitz has allowed just 2 hits so far, no runs. Alo's got a run in the first against Clay Holmes, but he has settled in as well as we get to the top of the 4th with Marcus Semien leading off. He has played 81 career games in this ballpark. That's half a major league season. He's hit over 300 here entering today. Fly to center his first time.
Continues to really try to get a feel for his slider. He could first 2 pitches against Semien have been sliders. Semien's a real good high fastball hitter. There's no doubt about that.
35 years old, still has a few years left on that deal he signed with the Rangers. Helped them win a World Series 3 years ago. But he has faded since that World Series year. And the Mets traded Brandon Nimmo to get Semien, but
incredibly durable when you think about it throughout his career.
Most games played since 2019, but he goes down on strikes here.
Now that was his best slider of the afternoon so far.
Well, shooters got to keep shooting.
Yes. Yes, they do.
What strikeout for Kohanowitz? Well, the White Sox will be in town starting tomorrow, and they are suddenly one of the hottest teams in baseball. They're winning again today, leading the Padres 1-0 in Griffin Canning's Padres debut today. The White Sox trying to win their 6th in a row. They would be up to 500 if they can lock down a win, which would also be a sweep at Petco Park. And that team surging behind Munetaka Murakami.
First pitch fastball came right back with another slider.
We'll see Jose Soriano against Davis Martin tomorrow. Martin pitched well against the Angels last week.
Tell you what, his spin rate on his slider has been amazing this year compared to what it's been in the past. It's probably why you're seeing him throw a lot more of the. It's going to be fun to see Soriano. Remember, he gave up a couple home runs against them in Chicago.
Drew Romo had that big day, and he's hit a homer today as well. Angels have not announced their rotation for the rest of the series behind Soriano, as Benj couldn't hold his swing. But we'll see Eric Fetty again Tuesday night, and then Wednesday with the day game, the 6'10" rookie Noah Schultz.
Definitely went after that one. High fastball.
And lined over the head of the first base coach. Gilbert Gomez had to take a seat.
The matrix there, get out of the way. With another slider. It says 22nd slider, 7 of them strikes. Oh, what a play. Bring a glove. Maybe that was Shonewell's glove they threw up there after that one. What a play. Sean White had to change his gloves, so maybe that made his way up there.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Benj. That's ball 3. Benj walked earlier as well.
Nice play. Yes. Give that fan a contract.
3-2. Just missed, so Benj has walked twice now today. Both of the walks issued by Kohanowitz.
And you feel this time nobody on base in front of him. He's going to be going here. 6 times he's stolen a base. Hasn't been caught yet. Kohanowitz is not easy to steal against. He's not allowed a stolen base this year yet. And only 6 stolen bases in 11 attempts against him in his career. So he's, as big as he is, he's quick.
This year against him.
Got some traffic today, Kohanowitz. But like Holmes, he's 1 pitch away from 2 outs.
Vientos struck out his first time. 2 balls, no strikes. Kohanowitz not quite as sharp. The ball to strike ratio closer to even today. The Mets still haven't really done anything about it. They've been shut out on 2 hits.
A little bigger lead here now.
Vientos serves one left center field, hit a long way. Trout is back, and that's going to go out to the California Spectacular. Mark Vientos crushes a 2-run homer. Only his 2nd of the year, gets the Mets on the board and gives them the lead.
Yeah, falling behind, you got to go in there with the sinker, and it's right down the middle of the plate. For that walk, just like that, the Mets now lead this game.
The 2nd homer allowed by Kohanowitz in 38 innings this year.
Got to clear that right away. Got to trust your offense. Halo's still trying to get that offense going at home here.
Vientos hit 27 home runs a couple of years ago. There's some serious power there, plus a whole bunch in the postseason that year.
A pretty good swing last night. That shot to center field too was caught.
Doing some road construction in the Mets dugout. That's a thing New Yorkers always love to see.
Yeah.
An orange helmet and the
Either
orange
that or scaffolding all around every single building out there.
Why wouldn't you have that?
Yes.
Good for the aesthetic. Taylor out in front of that slider, 1-2. Bouncing ball to third base, scooped by Peraza. A running throw to retire Taylor, 2 down.
Nice bounce back by Kohanowitz. Nice play by Peraza. 5 ground ball outs so far for Kohanowitz. 5 ground ball outs today for Holmes, including 2 double play balls.
Torrens swinging through that slider. Kohanowitz entering the day as #1 in all the baseball in ground ball rate. Clay Holmes not far behind. So we expected to see these 2 battle on the ground today. Mets grabbing the lead in this 4th inning on a home run by Mark Vientos. Torrens down on strikes, a ball in the dirt. Rivero will get it to first to end the inning. Mets are in front. Mark Vientos' home run gives them a 2-1 lead.
They were kids.
for your
Be one of the first 25,000 fans in attendance at the Big A Monday, June 1st against the Rockies, and walk away with the new City Connect Cooler Tote, courtesy of Yakult Probiotic Drink. Visit angels.com/promotions for more info. Jorge Soler has driven in the only Angel run so far today. Fouls this first pitch off his foot.
Halos have scored in the first inning all 3 games of the series, and it kind of goes into a spot where no more base runners for a while, but got to get it going again here now. Settle back in there, Holmes, after that tough first inning. A lot of pitches.
He's been able to correct his pitch count with a couple of efficient innings since then. 1 ball, 1 strike on Soler now. 26 runs batted in to start the year. It's the most he's had in a season this early in the year in his career. He's driven in some runs certainly in the past. Holmes with that bending curveball for a strike. Angels trying to win back-to-back games for the first time since April 16th and 17th. Count goes to 2-2, and just trying to win a series.
Yeah.
In a while since they've done that. Cincinnati was the last time 3 weeks ago. That curveball fooling Soler, bends him at the knees for strike 3.
Pretty nasty break there too. That unreal spin on that curveball too. Well over 3,000 RPM spin rate. That is above average snap to that curveball.
Jordan hit into a double play his first time. Holmes starting to rely on that curveball a lot.
Jodell loves pitches downstairs, so he has a time every once in a while where he'll chase low pitches. That was a little low curveball. That was the one he could hit a mile there. Just missed it.
It was certainly the pitch. We seem to say that a lot about Joe here, that he has had some pitches to drive that he just hasn't.
Yeah, almost another one right there too. The way he swung the bat yesterday in early batting practice and regular batting practice, and the way he swung it in the game, you're just expecting him soon to start getting a hold of him and driving him in the air a long way.
See Holmes now over on the third base side of the rubber. We've seen him kind of switch his spots a little bit today.
The right-handed batter. That way he could stay inside with that sinker to the right-handed batter, and a little more difficult to be able to read it out of his hand. He's all the way over on the first base side. You can see it a little longer. Now he's worked his way back over to the first base side of the pitching rubber.
That's interesting, even within the same plate appearance here. Going from one side of the rubber to the other. Telegraph anything to the hitter?
You would think when you move to the third base side, you're going to try to pitch in, and then the first base side, you're going to try to throw something breaking away.
I don't know if I've seen that where a pitcher does that in the same at bat. He was on the third base side of the rubber for some of these pitches, and now back on the first base side to Adell. That's a foul and not hung on to by Torrens.
So you think a pattern of what pitches you might throw. So since he's moved back to the first base side, he's thrown a sweeper, a changeup, curveball. Now he's moved back over to the third base side.
That swung on and missed, strike 3. So Holmes with a changeup there. It's back-to-back strikeouts, 4 in a row.
That's that pitch well below the strike zone because Joe is so good on low pitches. He chased that out of the zone. Turns that over. Very little at all rotation.
2 down. Here's Josh Lowe, grounded out. Not seen much offense from Lowe. It's been here and there in spurts as he lifts one to center field. And this one will fall short of the track as Taylor makes the grab. Another quick inning for Holmes. 1, 2, 3.
My life. We knew our life.
Fourth inning, walked Carson Benj with 1 out, then allowed a home run to Vientos. As the Mets have a 2-1 lead here in the 5th inning. The Angels offense has been quieted so far. Only 3 hits in the game Friday. They did put up 12 hits yesterday. And so far today, just a run on 2 hits against Clay Holmes, with some chances against Holmes in the first inning, but not a lot happening offensively since then. So Bichette leading off here in the 5th. And a base hit his last time. The passer, it's Neto moving in front of it, letting off a strong throw to retire Bichette.
And that's how you make a difference with the glove. Maybe you're struggling with the bat, but a solid defense play, especially the leadoff hitter, Bo Bichette. Nice play. Good range for Neto. Thought that was going to go exactly the same spot. His last at bat for a hit. Showed that range. Good play.
Brings up Soto with 1 out. Soto hit a grounder to Shawnuel last time. They got stuck in the webbing of Shawnuel's first baseman. Shawnuel just tossed the whole thing at Jack Kohanowitz, who covered first for the out. Shawnuel is a new glove now.
Again, another slider throw for Kohanowitz, especially to a lefty. Haven't seen a ton of changeups today. In the game, he was about 25% changeup usage, and about 16% slider. Feels like it flipped.
There's a lot of sliders today. He's been fine today, but he has not been as crisp.
Yes, but he's still, that's the sign of a real good pitcher. You don't have your best stuff going, you're still battling.
He's throwing a slider more than anything. And you wonder what is behind that. The changeup usage dropping significantly today. Soto with a fly ball right center.
He was frustrated because he had a hanging slider there.
Sun starting to peek out. Trout has the shades on to retire.
That's a guy that could swing the bat, and he had his pitch and he missed it. Flip the bat, but not flipping the bat to say he had a good swing. He is mad at himself for that one.
Soto just trying to make sure that bat didn't land on anybody behind the plate with the catcher and the umpire there. There's a strike to Melendez.
This is changeup.
Melendez, former Royals prospect. As he lines one to right center for a base hit, and he's on with 2 outs.
The way he has his hands loaded up there close to his body and quick on that changeup. Back-to-back changeups, got a base hit with it.
He swung the bat well so far this year. That's but Melendez, a guy who they signed only a couple of weeks before the season started in their 3-hole. So it was not what they expected from Melendez, but they're trying to ride whatever hot hand they can find right now. There's Brett Baty with a base hit earlier. Mets made all sorts of changes in the offseason. Pete Alonso gone. Brandon Nimmo traded. Edwin Diaz gone. Jeff McNeil traded. Out of the name value from this Mets team was erased. As Baty takes ball 2. Baty had a pretty good second half last year at 18 home runs, a new career high.
On a spot now, you have to throw something in the strike zone. He's been good getting outs with pitches in the strike zone this year, Kohanowitz.
2 balls and a strike as Baty swings over that sinker.
Able to attack in the zone with a sinker and get a swing and miss on it.
82 pitches. Mentioned the lack of crispness for Kohanowitz. It's made that pitch count go up in short order today. 3-1 the count on Baty. Kohanowitz and Soriano both have been effective in the strike zone, although Kohanowitz has not been in the zone as much as usual.
It's a completely different pitcher from last season. Both of them.
It's a walk.
It's the guy you, even though has struggled somewhat this year, you don't want up here because he's had a lot of success and did it in game 1 against the Halos. And a lot of big numbers. 3 walks now in the game for Kohanowitz. He's battled.
The Mets have 2 on with Simeon coming up, and we'll take a ride with Hyundai.
A car that sees what you can't, how it should be. The Hyundai Tucson.
Nick Sandlin is first up in the Angels bullpen today. Taylor Saucedo was added to the roster as well, with Kikuchi going on the IL. Angels still don't have a lot of information or perhaps knowledge of how severe Kikuchi's shoulder injury is, but he'll be out for at least a couple of weeks.
Simeon, always a guy that's swinging at the first pitch so far this season. Is 4 for 16 putting that first pitch in play, but he's always up there hacking first one.
First pitch here is fouled off. Simeon struck out his last time. He's flied out as well.
We got him with a fastball.
It's just off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on Simeon.
That's a pretty good slider there.
Angels had Sandlin up, and now Jose Fermin has gotten loose. So many sliders today for a pitch that has not really been that effective.
Yeah, and it's continued to throw it. And now, because you haven't been able to throw for strike as a hitter, even though this team has struggled with fastballs, the Mets, you can just look for a fastball here.
It's 2-1. Fastball misses as well. So Kohanowitz also working with Sebastian Rivero behind the plate today. Not his usual catcher with O'Hoppe still out. d'Arnaud has got a day off. Rivero keeps calling for those sliders too. 3-1. That was a good pitch that time. The changeup.
3-1.
Has been his best secondary pitch this year.
And it's been very, very effective. For a changeup to have a just under a 33% whip percentage, that's outstanding. That's how good it's been.
Runners will go here on 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a breaking ball upstairs.
The old backup slider, not by design, but it looks like it was.
Kohanowitz has had to wrestle through 5 innings today.
In this house,
Calling all Angels here this afternoon. They're practicing their best Angels in the outfield impression.
Let's go. We need that help.
I like that halo hat too. We got to get those in the booth.
I know.
Too.
That's a mandatory. Come on,
Grissom.
Grogu, get your act together. Let's go.
Grissom walked his first time. Angels have had a few walks, a couple of hits, but only 1 run today against Clay Holmes. Grissom chops it. Brady is over the third base bag with a strong throw to get Grissom.
He's had a lot of quick outs since that first inning, a ton of them.
That's why it was so unusual to see him throw 27 pitches in the first inning, when he normally is only around 14 or 15 per inning. One of the more efficient pitchers in the entire sport right now, and he's been, since the second inning, his usual self.
Not a lot of hard contact either.
There's Oswald Peraza into a double play earlier. That's gotten the Angels to just beat everything into the ground here so far today. Even the 2 hits were largely ground balls that got through the infield from Soler and Trout. Bunt try from Peraza, but a foul.
Not a bad idea with that speed. You need some traffic, especially with his ability to steal a base. Been good with 2 strikes so far this season.
The 2-strike hit to win it yesterday. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Average at .292. OPS .840 for Peraza. Seen him tap into his power at times too. He's hit some long home runs this year. Comes up empty here, strike 3. Soler homered in the first inning of this series, and we have not seen the Angels even really flirt with the long ball since then.
It's been really, that's been the conversation as far as at home, as far as home runs.
For whatever reason, it's been a power outage here in this somewhat hitter-friendly environment. I mean, especially in the day game, usually the ball flies here.
Angels have only hitting 10 home runs. Granted, they've played a lot more games on the road so far. 10 home runs at home, but 33 on the road. Slugging .438 is compared to .319 at home.
It's in 15 home games now, including today, compared to 20 on the road. So a little bit of a disparity, but I mean, the home runs per game, I mean, it's a huge variance. The Angels have hit over a home run and a half per game on the road, and about 0.7 home runs per game at home.
This feels like Kohanovic may be out of the game.
Rivero with a line drive base hit toward the line. Melendez goes to get it. Rivero will hold up at first base, and he has a 1-out single here in the 5th. A 2-out single, I should say.
Now 3 for 6 in the young season.
Brady Anderson, the hitting coach for the Angels. John Mabry, veteran hitting guru in his own right.
It's that time to really get it going here for Neto. Does a lot of damage first pitch. See if he gets something in the strike zone to do that damage.
Swings through a sinker at the bottom of the zone. Holmes really keeps that pitch underneath that hitting plane.
It's 1 home run for right-handed batters against him this year.
Ground ball sharply hit, but Beatty was covering the line. That ends the inning, so Clay Holmes has had the Angels number here today. Add to your Angels bobblehead collection. It's Yusei Kikuchi's bobblehead. First 25,000 fans Monday, June 8th will take home their very own Yusei Kikuchi bobblehead, courtesy of JAE, Japan Aviation Electronics Industry Limited. Angels.com/promotions.
Hopefully not too long on the IL for Kikuchi. He's a guy that generally takes the baseball, gets his 30+ starts a year. 5-6 innings every time out there.
Only had like 1 IL stint in his career. He's been very durable since he arrived from Japan. Carson Benj leads off the 6th inning against Kohanovic, still out there. He can attack Benj a little bit. Benj has walked both times, scored on the Vientos home run back in the 4th. 2-1 lead here in the 6th. 1 strike. Benj had a breakout year in the minors last year and a really good spring. Forced his way onto the major league roster. He's not hit a lot yet as a big leaguer though. Konowitz is not able to throw him a strike today.
And another slider to a lefty.
Benj homered in his major league debut. That was on opening day. Only hit one since, and it's a ground ball here. Handled by Grissom for the first out.
Throwing 35 sliders today with 15 strikes.
I have to find out why. I mean,
yes.
it's not his typical characteristic at all. His changeup has been his best secondary pitch.
I mean, he's battled really well. This is for me, this is a great sign as you see him maturing that you can be this effective when you don't have maybe your best pitch going, which would probably be his sinker, then follow with his changeup.
Now, the biggest issue for Konowitz today is that he's lacked command, which has gotten the pitch count to be pretty high here in the 6th inning, and also he has not gotten any run support, which is certainly not on him. He's done enough to keep the Angels in this game. Here's a ground ball. Neto backhand, quick off balance throw, gets it there to retire Vientos.
So 2 outstanding plays at shortstop. One on the backhand there, another on the glove side, up the middle against Bichette. That's a good sign when you're not taking those tough at bats into the field, when you know how good you are at the shortstop position. We talked about him today. 3 defensive runs saved so far this year, even though there's been some tougher plays here and there, but 2 great plays this afternoon. If you're Kohanowitz right now, I'm trying to get this quick out because I know I got Mike Trout coming up to lead off the next half inning.
That'd be a good sign for Konowitz to get through 6 despite whatever he has battled with here today. Tyrone Taylor the battle as he takes a strike. I mean, as you said, a sign of maturity indeed to put up a quality start without your best stuff and really limit any sort of damage from this Mets offense today to this point. Chopper to third. That should do it for Konowitz. He has made it through 6, gutting his way with just 2 runs allowed on 4 hits. Mike Trout gets a swing in the bottom of the 6th.
Good things come to those who
today, 6 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts at the end of this for Konowitz, who had some issues with his command. Pitch count got up a little bit higher than normal. Didn't throw his changeup that much, threw his slider a lot, but still that line score pretty good.
Well, I'm impressed with what I saw from Kohanowitz today. Same thing with Clay Holmes. Both guys we talk about being sinker ballers, generally keep the ball in the ballpark, although that one mistake to Vientos is a home run against Kohanowitz. But I really liked what he did today, Kohanowitz. Now he's looking for some run support here.
Certainly is, and it's the man to give him some at the plate. Mike Trout's already been on base twice today.
Kohanowitz hasn't got a whole lot of run support throughout his career on the mound for the Halos either.
Inside out, one fouled as Trout. Kohanowitz making his 6th straight start today, giving up 3 runs or fewer. He's allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts.
Still looking to pick up some W's when you're pitching that good.
And strike 3 to Trout. It was a changeup right there.
Well, you talk about getting away with a pitch right there. You're almost as if Trouty's guessing. That's right down the heart of the plate.
Kohanowitz now a 2.18 ERA in his last 6 starts. Just 2 wins to show for it.
Boy, that down and in break a ball from right-handed pitchers to Shawniwell is something you're seeing a lot of. Just trying to get that barrel out quick enough. Last time up, he hit about 103 off the bat.
There's a liner right center. Bench won't get that base hit.
So it's back-to-back 103-mile-per-hour exit velocity for Shawniwell. Good sign for him.
Almost automatic now when a pitch is elevated that he's going to drive it. See if Jorge Soler can drive one. He's hit the only home run in this series for the Angels.
And you think of a lot of his home runs this season have been pitches down and not a lot of launch angle, just line shots out.
Mets 2, Angels 1 as the Halos try to win back-to-back games and take this series away from the Mets. Mets have the worst record in baseball right now. Here's Soler lofting one toward left center field. This one headed toward the gap. Melendez makes a diving catch.
Wow, that's an outfielder playing all these different outfield positions. He played center field. That's an incredible catch. That hit probability had to be really high on that swing. Full extension. That's a run scored if he doesn't make that play. What a play that was by Melendez. Diving catch. It's that low launch angle once again for Soler. He hits it on the line, but Melendez makes a great play. His head is still, his eyes are still, making that diving catch.
Catcher coming up. He's a coach's son. His dad was the head coach at FIU down in Florida. Ball 1 to Joe Adell.
So far, Holmes has gotten Joe Adell to go after that pitch down below the strike zone so far today. The one swing of the bat, Halos got the lead with that power that Adell has.
Ball 1 strike. This next pitch will be 85 for Holmes. He's made it through 7 innings a couple of times this year, although he has not thrown more than 94 pitches in a game yet this year. He ends up in that 85 to 95 range. This will be 85 coming up. Joe really expanded his zone there, 1 and 2.
And I'd be shocked if he throws anything but the same exact pitch. I mean, that was basically in the left-handed batter's box. A sweeper. Bring him in the strike zone, Joe, if you can.
And ends up missing inside. There's Saucedo, the new Angel reliever, available. Sandlin had been up. Fly ball to left center. This one not carrying. Easier try for Melendez here, and he has that. Holmes has worked through 6, as has Kohanowitz, in a close game. find their wings here in the final few innings today. It's been a pitcher's duel between Jack Kochanowicz and Clay Holmes as they've made it through 6 innings each, and Kochanowicz, even with 98 pitches under his belt, goes back out for the 7th.
I'm always a big believer, if you're a sinker ball pitcher, both of these guys here, you actually have better sink on your fastballs. The more pitches you throw, the more tired you have better sink on it.
Well, something Kurt Suzuki has said too from the beginning. He doesn't want these starting pitchers to really leave anything on the table. He doesn't want them looking down in the bullpen either. He wants them to go back out, get those extra ups until he's ready to pull them. Kochanowicz falling behind Torrens here, 2-0 with Bichette on deck, then Soto. You see the big lefty Saucedo getting ready. There's a strike, 2-1. Here's Erica.
Jack, after his last start out against the White Sox, and you see today this perfect example of it. He said the biggest growth he's seen from himself this year, just the mental side of it, getting through those tough innings. You've seen him take those deep breaths on the mound this afternoon. That's something that he's sort of working his way through in those tough innings. But of course, he's able to throw more pitches now, but being able to control yourself more than anything, he said he's done a better job of that. You see that this afternoon.
First time over 100 pitches in a game this season today. Now 3-1 on Torrens. It's a foul on what would have been ball 4.
Yeah, he went after that one. Helped him out. Big pitch here, especially with Bo Bichette, who's got a base hit in this game and almost had another one, but great play by Neto.
Big pitch here, 3-2. Liner to right. Soler is right there, 1 out.
First time we see the baseball out there in the right field for Soler.
Good job by Kochanowicz coming back to get that out too. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Hyundai, coming up after 2 more outs.
Another hitter in this Mets lineup is extremely aggressive on the first pitch.
Upstairs to Bichette. This will likely be the last batter with Soto next.
Another slider well out of the strike zone.
It's ball 3. So Kochanowicz has not had crisp command all day. Falling behind Bichette. 107 pitches now. There's that one in there, and it's 3-1. Still 95 on the heater.
Nice free and easy sinker at 95.
Pitch count by inning. All in all, this has been an impressive outing for Kochanowicz with less than his best stuff today. 6 1/3. There's a bouncer foul down the line. Raza well off the line. Bichette really has gap-to-gap power.
Yeah, he's real good going the other way. Try to pull that sinker down. Mindset here as a pitcher, more than likely your last batter, I got to have my best pitch right here.
Big blow that Bichette hit in Game 7 of the World Series last year. Seemed like it would be a winning blow for the Blue Jays when he hit that home run. Turned out to be a heroic final act in that uniform for Bo Bichette. 3-2 the count. Ground ball to short. It's Neto in the hole. Can't make the play. Bichette will get a base hit. Would have been a tough play, but we've seen Neto make that often.
He stayed low, not hit hard either.
I think he kind of peeked up to see where Bichette was. That's how the day will end for Jack Kochanowicz, who gave it all he had for 6 1/3 innings today.
lawyers.
Now Jack Konowitz found his way through 6 1/3 innings today with a career high in pitches thrown.
Well, he really threw the ball well. I mean, this is how you become that type of pitcher, top of the rotation type of guy, when you were able to have this kind of performance when you don't have maybe your best stuff of the season. And there's a lot to like about what Konowitz did here today. 6 punch outs. Still getting his fair share of ground ball outs. Almost got another one there. 9 ground ball outs.
We'll see Taylor Saucedo's Angels debut. We've seen him before, former Mariner. Soto bends on a breaking ball. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he's got a sweeper. He'll throw a slider also. Changeup, fastball, not overpowering. 90-93 range.
He was decent at times with the Mariners, though he did not have much success last year at the big league level. Soto trying to hold up, but he did not. Strike 2.
Got an arm angle, tough to stay in there if you're a left-handed batter. Slings it across his body.
So with that 3-batter rule, he'll have to face whoever comes up next. It's Melendez in the box, or in the on deck circle right now. Now there's a ball in the dirt. Shed will go to second base on a wild pitch.
Silver through that slider.
This is a spot in the order where you can use Saucedo for a couple of hitters. Soto, Melendez, Beatty all swing from the left side. Mets do have some right-handed options if they want to make a change, including Austin Slater. Right now it's Soto with a count 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Fastball. He had him looking slider. Boy, twice struck out today. Soto.
And all out of sorts in this series.
For a guy that was extremely hot coming into this series. He struck out 5 times in this series.
Does not look comfortable. I mentioned his numbers overall against the Angels have not been good. That's a big out, but now the Mets will go to one of their righties off the bench, Slater, to bat for Melendez. Slater, a veteran, former Giant, among other teams. With the White Sox and the Yankees as well. Saucedo fires in a strike. It's 0-1. Saucedo trying to keep the Angels right there, only down by 1. Clay Holmes has served the Mets through 6 innings so far with just 1 run allowed. Konowitz wins 6 1/3 for the Halos. Just 2 runs on his ledger right now. And this is for ball 2. Huge difference in the splits for Saucedo in his career. Right-handers with an 812 OPS. Lefties just 586. There's Sandlin, but Saucedo still has to face 1 more hitter after this. Unless he gets Slater out to end the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he does have a good changeup that could neutralize a right-handed batter here. Threw that sinker away. Usually that could set up a changeup fade in a way.
2-2 the count. It's in the dirt. It's 3-2. For a couple of years ago, Joe Adell hit a big pinch hit grand slam against the Mariners in 2024. And that was off of Saucedo at T-Mobile Park. 3-2 on Slater. That's right there, strike 3.
Stuck a fastball by him. As a sweeper, actually able to paint it.
Saucedo strikes out 2 in his Angels debut, and he keeps it a 2-1 game on behalf of Jack Kohanowitz, who worked 6 1/3 today. Let's take you around the league. Our Hyundai 7th inning stretch at Yankee Stadium, where the Bronx Bombers stay hot, and so does Aaron Judge, who ties Murakami with his 13th home run of the season. As Judge lofts that one out just beyond the reach of the Orioles center fielder. Ben Rice homered again as well. He has 12 on the year as the Yankees beat Baltimore today. And the Cubs win again. They swept the Diamondbacks. That's 11 straight wins at Wrigley. Michael Busch had a bases clearing triple, a 4 RBI day. As the Cubs take care of the D-backs 8-4 at Wrigley Field today. Here at Angel Stadium, the Halos need to find some offense to back Kohanowitz.
Yeah, Kohanowitz battled really well. Saucedo did a nice job of being able to get through that inning. Just looking for a couple bunch of hits together. Just get some traffic. I haven't been able to do that first inning. Looked like they were going to be able to score some runs against Holmes, but he settled down and did a real nice job with that sinker today.
Ralph, give me Grogu, please.
Yes.
Ralph, give me Grogu.
Grogu.
We need him on the Ralph's just daydreaming over here. Here,
well,
we got to get him going.
Yes, come on, Grogu. Come on.
Wake up.
Wake up.
There. Wake up.
Hello. Get going.
He's sleepy. Wake up. Score a run.
Yes.
Angels 5K and Fun Run coming up, presented by Lexus. It'll be Saturday, May 30th. You can join us for the 16th annual race at 8 a.m. for an exclusive Angels medal, T-shirt, and 2 ticket vouchers. Register now at angels.com/5K.
Love to get Josh Lowe on the bases and see how quick he can run.
Oh, fouls off the first pitch from Clay Holmes, who is still out there in the 7th inning. Austin Slater now in left field after hitting for Melendez last inning. Taylor Saucedo, an important Angels debut, struck out both hitters that he faced, including Soto.
A number of pitches working there too. His sweeper and slider really good.
Well, 3 close games in this series. The Mets won in the opener of this 3-game set 4-3. That was the score last night as well. Oh, flies it right center. Sends Benj back. Still going. The warning track to the wall. And at the wall, he makes the catch. That ball just kept carrying and nearly tied the game.
Talk about how the baseball will carry here in the daytime. Just kept going and going. A couple of really solid defensive plays in the outfield for the Mets.
Ball got all the way to the top of the fence out there in right center. And off the bat, it didn't look like at all that it would be a threat. About 5 to 10 more feet, that's a home run.
It's pretty shocking that Holmes is still in there after that tough first inning and the amount of pitches he threw. To his credit, he's been real good since.
Through 27 pitches in the first inning. He's only needed 64 since then. Grissom tags it, but it's foul.
He got away with that one there.
Let's have Luke Weaver up in their bullpen. Neither of these teams has played all that well in one-run games this year. The Angels are 3-6. The Mets are 3-8. Weaver and Devin Williams would be the end of the game plan for Carlos Mendoza, although that hasn't worked all that well for them this year so far. So stay tuned. This could be a photo finish here today.
Had a lot of fun Sunday afternoon games over the last few seasons here.
Been some wild ones,
yes,
for sure. Usually higher scoring than this. It's a foul ball, just barely down the line.
It'll be easy to get anything down the line with Beatty. Pretty close to that line to begin with.
Saw Grissom hit his first home run as an Angel the other day. If somebody can lift one out, Josh Lowe almost did.
Still can't believe how far that baseball went.
Line to the left side. Bichette picks it, fires it across, and gets the out. What a play by Bo Bichette, returning to shortstop and looking good there.
Yeah, he was in the outfield grass. Pivot, long throw. Well, Grissom runs well too, able to plant and make that strong throw across the diamond, get him by his stride. Barely kept that foot on the bag too.
2 outs, and Peraza will bat. Our key player profile on the Angels infielder coming up. Peraza's led the team in batting average so far. He's only behind Trout in OPS. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And a lot of speed at the plate too, just getting on base. Change things up. And successful 5 of 6 stolen base attempts.
1-2, a new season high in pitches thrown for Holmes as he tries to get through 7 innings. Angels had him on the ropes in the first, only got 1 run. They haven't really touched him since. Angels have not had a man in scoring position since the first inning. Peraza just throws his bat at it. Bichette on a 1-hopper, flips it to first. Just dropped it.
So now you got that speed at first base. That's why you hustle all the way down the line.
Vientos just not a great defender to begin with. Bichette short hops his throw, and Vientos couldn't pick it. They always give the air to the shortstop in this case for the bounce throw, but
I'm almost thinking he did that on purpose, that bounce throw.
Oh, definitely did.
Diamond.
I mean, that's Vientos' issue, not Bichette's on that play. So the Angels will try to break through here with 2 outs. Yohan Moncada is going to bat for Rivero, and we'll take a quick break to find out what's Jack in the Box is going on.
Get my new Smash Jack Sliders Munchie Meal for a chance to win $75,000.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
And Moncada hit a laser for a double in the game last night. It looks like he will face Luke Weaver instead of Clay Holmes. On ABTV is brought to you by Villa Ford of Orange. Step up to the plate and drive home a winner today at Villa Ford of Orange. And by StubHub, proud partner of Angels baseball.
Fun time last night. Maybe some fun right here from Yohan Moncada coming to the dish.
Oswald Peraza reaching on an error to prolong this inning, and we'll see Luke Weaver Certainly had his ups and downs so far this year.
Same thing with Moncada. He doesn't swing at the first pitch a lot, but throughout his career, Luke Weaver on the first pitch put in play. 360 batting average, slugging .575 on the first pitch.
I think this would be a spot for Moncada to be more aggressive coming off the bench. Tying run on base. Weaver has bounced around with a lot of different teams over the course of his career. He's with the Yankees most recently, now Met. Moncada just stares at strike one. And if you think the Mets have picked apart the Yankee bullpen, well, they have. Holmes, Weaver, and probably Devin Williams we'll see today. All former Yankee relievers. Weaver will give up the long ball. Moncada out in front of that, 0-2.
Been a lot of 0-2, 2-0 counts for Moncada this season. I think you go right now for sure if you're Peraza.
Weaver's allowed 10 homers each of the last 2 years. Already 2 allowed this year. All one to Moncada, who's hit 3 this season.
Got a lot of room down that right field line with that speed at first base.
And in the right center field gap as well. Benj is very deep and right. Moncada down on strikes. Weaver fooled him with the changeup to end the inning.
It's not what we ride that defines us. It's what happens.
At Angel Stadium for an AL West Division battle. The A's will be here Monday, May 18th through Thursday, May 21st. Angels.com/tickets to secure your seats today. The Sacktown A's. Saucedo hits Brett Beatty with the first pitch of the inning, and that will likely possibly be the last pitch that Saucedo throws today. The third time Beatty's been on base. A's are ahead of Cleveland today, 7-1. They're in first place right now in the AL West. That will be the end of the day for Saucedo. Struck out 2 in the 7th, but hits the first batter here in the 8th.
We are lovers of yards.
TV is brought to you by Hyundai, by the California Community Colleges. And apprenticeships let you earn real money while you learn real skills without the debt. Starting out, I can go to college.com. And by Nissan, for every Nissan designed for people who refuse to settle for less. It's Nissan.com or your local dealer. The Angels down 2-1 today. Trying to tap into the Halo hats. The Wings got to get whatever it takes to score some runs here at the end of the game. Meanwhile, right now, Nick Sandlin trying to keep it a one-run game with Brett Baty at first.
Yeah, he will get his fair share of ground balls.
There's a ground ball foul off the bat of Semien, who has struck out twice today.
Trying to keep it just a one-run deficit. Got the top of the order coming up for the Halos in the bottom of the 8th inning. So important to put that 0 up.
One ball, 2 strikes on Semien. The Mets entering the day with the worst record in baseball. Team in first place in their division has the best record in baseball. The Braves leading Colorado today 11-6. Jonah Heim has 5 RBIs. Braves will be 25-10. What a turnaround from last year. Little tapper near the plate. Darno in the game now. Catcher fires it for the out.
Oh, what a good play, especially when you haven't been in the flow of the game. Bounced in that catching position. That works as a bunt, though, for the Mets.
It's Baty at second base with 1 away. As the rookie Carson Benj will bat.
It's not easy to do when you haven't played the whole game to be able to bounce that quickly and make a good throw like that. Solid job by Travis d'Arnaud.
Strong throw to get that out. It's a 2-1 game here in the 8th inning. Mets have 5 hits. Angels have only 4. The big blow, Mark Vientos cracking a 2-run homer. Monowitz on the wrong side of that. He allowed 2 runs in 6 1/3 innings. He's able to pitch well and keep his team in the game. There's Benj on the liner to right, and that will give the Mets an insurance run. RBI double for Carson Benj. Nick Sandlin gives up the 3rd New York run.
That's a big add-on run for the Mets, too. Especially the way the offense has been going, especially at home.
And Nick Sandlin continues to get hit hard since joining the Angels. He's now allowed 9 runs on 8 hits. Plus 4 walks, plus 3 hit batsmen, a lot of base runners. Well, this extra base hit from Benj makes it a 3-1 Mets lead. All 1 to Vientos with the home run earlier.
Giants are hoping for a rally by the Halos.
That ball crushed. Vientos with his 2nd homer today. And Nick Sandlin has once again been beaten up on the mound here today. The Mets take a 5-1 lead. It's a 3-run 8th inning.
The slider, just like the one before he got away with, and this one was upstairs. It didn't take long for Vientos to jump on that one.
Sandlin in 7 2/3 innings, now 8 innings total. That is 11 runs charged to him on 10 hits. A guy that's largely been effective as a major league pitcher, he has not been so to this point this year.
Into this with two-run home runs today.
Pitcher's called a strike, batter's challenging.
Going to be one of those ones that might touch the corner enough.
Pitch is a strike. New York is out of challenges.
Balls 2 strikes on Taylor. Up straight up behind home plate. As Darno squeezes that for the second out.
Mets have struggled when they had scored 3 runs or less, but now they got that 5 runs.
And 4 of them driven in by 2 homers from Mark Vientos today. He only had 2 home runs all year entering today. Luis Torrens 0 for 3. First run of this inning charged to Saucedo, hit Beatty. Sandlin giving up the extra base hits. Benj a double and Vientos the home run. All 4 as Mike Maddox comes out. Back to the top of the order with Bichette after we drive with Kia. Mickey Moniak hit 2 home runs for the Rockies in that game against the Braves today. He now has 11.
Amazing. And he's really settled in up there in Colorado. Kind of playing like that 1-1 he was. First pick. Overall, put it together now with the Rockies.
Sometimes it takes a while. It takes getting an opportunity to play every day. Mickey Moniak's tied for the National League lead in home runs with 11. Hitting 2 today for Colorado, although Atlanta did win that game 11-6.
Austin Riley was really crushing the ball for the Braves. If he's back being the dominant hitter that he was a few years ago.
You forget what an excellent player Riley can be. And Matt Olson off to a great start. Albies is hitting. We saw the damage Drake Baldwin can do when the Braves were here earlier this year. They thought they would retool quickly, and they have with new manager Walt Weiss.
Yeah, I mean, if they can get that starting staff and even, you know, their bullpen, keep them healthy, they're going to be a tough opponent all year long. And with a significant lead already this year in the NL East.
Nobody else in the NL East is playing well at all. Miami's second place. They're 2 games under 500. Washington's 3 under. The Phillies are 6 under, and the Mets are 11 under, although they are 6 outs away from winning this series. 2 balls and a strike on Bichette. Fly ball to shallow center should end the inning. Long run in for Trout, and he's there to retire the side. Mets put up 3. Couple extra base hits off Sandlin, and it's 5-1.
Pollen in your way?
Allergies on a
Stadium. For more info on upcoming games, exciting matchups, giveaways, and more, it's angels.com/tickets. 5-1. The Mets have gone ahead here with 3 runs in the top of the 8th against Taylor Saucedo and Nick Sandlin. As the Angels bullpen, after strong performances from Bachman and Zephyr yesterday, have allowed the Mets to extend their lead today.
That's why it's so important now for Neto just to get locked in, get on base somehow, some way.
Walked and scored the only run of this game for the Angels in the first inning. The Halos have not had a man in scoring position since then. Clay Holmes, 6 2/3 in line for the win. As Neto jumps at the first pitch and pops it up. It's a fair ball as Beatty makes the catch. 1 out.
Back to Hyundai key for the game today. A tripper to talk about that carry in the afternoon. Vientos with 2 2-run home runs. Josh Lowe almost got one out to right field. Just looking for some power here. Halos has continued to struggle with the power here in this ballpark this year.
Only 1 home run in this series. It was Soler in the first inning on Friday. Ball 1 to Trout, who has a hit and a walk today. And Mike only has 1 home run in this ballpark this year. His other 9 have all come on the road.
I think Trout would love that pitch back right in that spot. Might get a changeup in that spot.
Swings through a cutter. 4 players in the American League right now with an OPS over 1,000. Trout is 5th, 991. Ben Rice, Yordan Alvarez, Judge, and Shea Langeliers. Langeliers has been unbelievable for the A's so far this year.
I mean, his power to right center, left center has been unreal.
Each of those players in the top 5 in OPS in the American League, Trout included, have hit double-digit home runs already. Only 2 National Leaguers over 1,000 OPS. One of them is Ildemaro Vargas. Had a very long hitting streak to start the year and is batting .380 for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 34-year-old infielders having a breakout year. Trout's down on strikes, 2 outs. White Sox and Padres are tied at 3. That game is in the bottom of the 8th in San Diego. Padres trying to avoid being swept. Dodgers won earlier today. They beat the Cardinals 4-1, stopping St. Louis's run.
And they've been playing incredible baseball.
Cardinals had won 6 straight entering today. The entire National League West was on a 3 or more game losing streak ended today. All 5 teams. First time that has happened in baseball history.
Well, we're seeing some baseball history already, including a play at first base with Shawnuel throwing his glove with the baseball in it to Kohanowitz.
There's a line drive base hit through to right for Shawnuel with 2 outs. His second hit today.
And also a line shot to right field too. So good to see him swinging the bat.
In that Dodger game today, Justin Robleski improved to 5-0 with a 1.25 ERA. 6 shutout innings against the Cardinals. He beat Destin May. How about Destin May, the former Dodger, pitching on May 3rd, wearing number 3. He was wearing the date as he was on the mound for the Cardinals today.
Pitched pretty good too for him. Kept Shohei hitless again.
There is no date in existence of Gubicza 23rd.
No.
But had there been,
let's hope not.
Have done that.
Let's pray not. That's in the Hungarian calendar.
But May 3rd today, Destin May, number 3, pitching for the Cardinals.
Did he give up 3 runs too?
He did, and he's 3-3 on the year.
Wow. Now, what's the chances of that?
I don't know, but he better play 3s if he runs into that casino in St. Louis.
But it wasn't quite in the 3s.
No, his ERA is, he'd like for it to be in the 3s.
He did have 3 strikeouts though.
And he lost by 3. Soler cuts through that late on the cutter. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I just like to see that power from Soler, and to see all of a sudden you get right back in the game. You're only down by 2 with 1 swing.
It's 5-1 in the 8th inning.
His best pitch really is his changeup. You just hope you get that changeup elevated. Back to another cutter there.
Call 3rd strike. Soler doesn't challenge. And that is that for the 8th.
And the blue moon.
Oh, that is a delicious looking.
Following this one, the Mets with a 5-1 lead against the Angels. Drew Pomeranz will enter the game here in the top of the 9th. Juan Soto will lead things off. As been a rough go for Pomeranz, no question.
He's trying to get back on track. What he did last season, he was dominant.
He really had a great year for the Cubs last year. It really was a resurgent year for Pomeranz. He'd been kind of out of baseball, at least out of the major leagues, for a while until the Cubs brought him back to life last year. He had gone 1,355 days without throwing a major league pitch. Here's a little squibber from Soto. It's fielded by Peraza. Soto today is 0 for 5.
Halos continue to pitch him exceptionally well. It's just one of those things that some hitters have a tough time against a team, and some pitchers the same thing.
1 out.
It's hard to explain when you think about his numbers career-wise against the Angels. Not a lot of at-bats, but certainly not productive ones.
1 away is Slater bats with Pomeranz in a 5-1 game. Normally with Pomeranz on the mound, it's been hanging on to the dashboard with some of these games that the Angels have been in. But it allows us a little time at least to talk about his great-grandfather. We talked about him a little bit. Garland Buckeye was a pitcher in the 1920s and also an offensive lineman in the early days of the NFL.
He was Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson.
Garland Buckeye, who allowed 3 home runs to Babe Ruth in his career and 2 to Lou Gehrig, while also blocking for the Chicago Cardinals in the very early stages, the very first years of the National Football League.
Did he go to Ohio State?
Well, he's from Ohio, and he played in the Chicago teams, but he was a pitcher for the Cleveland Indians in the 1920s. So it's a rare great-grandfather, great-grandson combination in Major League history. There's only been one other. There was a player way back named Jim Blue Jacket, and his great-grandson, you may have run into him with Seattle, Bill Wilkinson.
Yes.
Was the only other great-grandfather, great-grandson combination in Major League history outside of Garland Buckeye and Drew Pomeranz.
That is some tremendous research, Wayne, by the way.
Shotwell making the catch.
He's really good. He's really good at going back on pop-ups.
What I want to know is how come the players in the old days were named Garland Buckeye and Jim Blue Jacket, and now we get, Bill Wilkinson and Mike Trout. We just get regular names now.
Yes. Going back on that one there, going over the shoulder. Shading the eyes, he goes, Phil Collins, no eyeglasses required.
2 outs, here's Beatty.
Yeah, where do you lose those names as the years progresses? Yes.
Bring back Jim Blue Jacket and Garland Buckeye, please.
That is name a hockey team after him.
Brooks Raley will try to finish this game for the Mets. But interestingly, Drew's dad spent a lot of time with Garland Buckeye when he was a kid, and he kind of taught him some baseball. So as he got older and had his own sons, Drew and his brother, he passed the game on. So in some ways, Garland Buckeye's influence is still on Drew Pomeranz through Drew's father, who taught baseball to his sons.
Well, Drew's definitely big enough to be a football player. I know that.
It's a 9-pitch inning for Pomeranz. 1, 2, 3 in the 9th.
Chevy drivers need a truck that shows
Beautiful day here at Angel Stadium. Sun has come out as the later innings have gone on. Just hasn't worked out for the Angels offensively, though.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a good offensive day for the club in the first inning. Patient at bat, couple walks, base hit by Soler, RBI, and then that's it. Very similar to game one, too.
Brooks Raley is on to finish this one for New York. Jack Kohanowitz on the losing end here. It'll be his first loss, barring a big comeback, although really no fault of Jack's. He pitched well today. Clay Holmes in line for the win as Raley will face Joe Adell to start this bottom of the 9th inning. For the Mets, this would be just their second road series win. They won a series in San Francisco almost a month ago now. It took 3 out of 4 from the Giants April 2nd through the 5th. And ball 1 strike on Adell. Mets will go on to Colorado after this one is over. The Angels will welcome the White Sox tomorrow.
They're behind now in San Diego. It'll probably be Miller time down there.
Xander Bogaerts had the go-ahead RBI. 4-3 San Diego trying to stop the White Sox winning streak at 5. Liner to left, base hit. Joe Adell trying to get something going here in the 9th.
Create some doubt. Well hit. Bell with 3 hits yesterday, picks up his first hit today. That's where you might see Josh Lowe try to bunt down the third baseline too. You need base runners.
Swing and a miss by Lowe. Lowe had a long fly out his last time, 0 for 3 today, that averaged down to 161.
He's battled when he's gotten the 2 strikes right away. He's behind 0-2 here now. See if he can find a way to get that baseball into that outfield grass.
Does have 4 home runs. He just has not been able to consistently string together hits. It's 14 out of 87 to start the year.
Slater playing pretty shallow to take away that little flare out to left field.
Lowe down on strikes. Raley with the first out of the inning. Angels have now struck out 10 times today. 6 of them by Holmes. Weaver fanned 3. Now Raley has 1.
He will not overpower you with his fastball. 86, 90 tops, curveball, slider, changeup.
See Jose Soriano on the mound tomorrow night. Try to bounce back after his first loss of the year. Hands of the team that beat him, the White Sox, last week.
Yeah, that stiff neck. You can see it on a couple of those pitches. That's why he had that trouble, I think, especially on a breaking ball and a splitter.
He'll face Davis Martin, both pitchers with ERAs under 2. Martin 1.95, Soriano 0.84. Grissom punches one to right toward the line. Bench. What a play! Wow, what a catch by Carson Bench.
How did he make that catch?
That is highway robbery of Grissom.
Unbelievable play. They've made 2 unreal catches in left field, right field. That's one of those plays too, especially when you're up 5-1. If you don't make that, that's a chance of being inside the park home run.
For sure that was going to get down.
I don't even know how he's able to cover that much ground on the full extension on the dive. What a play. Bench, unreal play out there.
It's about as good of a play as you'll ever see an outfielder make on the dead run with a full extension dive like that.
Benj and Melendez with 2 outstanding plays. Really difference makers in this game. Joe Dell knows a little bit about robbing some plays out in the outfield, especially in right field. 3 home run robberies. That was a potential inside the park robbery.
1 ball, 1 strike on Peraza.
Can't believe he made that play. I mean, that range he showed, how far he went for that one. Outstanding play by Benj.
That's in there. Peraza will challenge it. And see if he gets 1 more pitch out of it or not.
I don't think so. It's going to touch it.
The Mets will win 5-1 after this challenge is over, presented by T-Mobile. As the Mets take 2 out of 3 and get just their 2nd road series win this year.
Frustrating too, especially a good start to the game for the Halos, but defensive plays in the outfield by the Mets. Vientos swinging the bat, 4 runs driven in with 2 home runs. A Toyota player of the game. 6th career multi-home run game, but that defense in the outfield. Man, what a play that was. I mean, this whole inning is completely different if that falls in.
The Angels would have had a chance to get something going. Instead, they lose 2 out of 3 to the Mets. We'll wrap things up in a moment.
Good things come to those who